Why are we laughing?
John, just chill out.
Like you're dealing with God.
The savageness, the brutalness was always out of love.
It's going to be a story for the ages for sure.
Wonderful to see you again, John and Kenneth and Tom, to meet you. I saw you obviously on the big screen the other day, but you maybe didn't see me. But my name's Sarah, by the way, but that's not important. I'm glad you got it. I'm
Very
glad you got
good.
it.
Very good.
Okay,
I
it took you a moment, did it?
I was actually late to that. I was like, why are we laughing?
Very good.
That was your line, I do believe. But obviously people don't know what I'm talking about. But yeah, that was a line from something you say. So a little bit of a sneak peek there. Yeah, Tom, can you perhaps introduce yourself?
Hello, I'm Tom Simper, and I had the glorious honor of playing Peter.
Peter, that's quite an in-depth character. I know in the first couple of episodes, you go through some real kind of challenges, but can you let me know throughout the series, perhaps what was your most challenging part and how did you work through that?
These might have to tell me if I'm spoiling something in episode 4. And maybe I can contextually give enough away.
You could say what the storyline is. You just can't,
Storyline, yeah.
yeah, because I think that, yeah.
It's in the Bible, most of
We
it
got one
anyway.
of the writers in the room, Sarah. I think it was in episode 4 when we reach a conclusive stage of Peter's relationship with Sapphira. I mean, that whole episode, there's just a big shift and a big gear change into what these people went through and the full arc and shades of the story. And it really felt like a real pivot moment as well, that the episode pivoted around. So I really wanted to get the tone right. And as an actor, I'm obsessed with tone, because what is really gorgeous about this script is that the writing evokes such awesome feelings and emotions, and the concepts they don't get any bigger.
I'm Ananias. This is my wife, Sapphira. I'm never gonna deny him again.
Like you're dealing with God. So the tone, I didn't want to overdo it or underdo it. And I'm trying to offset myself against this character where we don't really have much dialogue. We're not really talking on a level. Everything is subtext, or everything is indirect. And it's written that Peter is carrying the weight of the entire the entire faith, is what it felt like, on his back with this one moment. So that was it was a beautiful challenge that I just relished in. But yeah, that was difficult.
And how did it impact you personally? How much of yourself could you relate to your character, or were you able to impart, or how did that affect you in your personal kind of journey?
Yeah, good question. The concept of that exact scene, thankfully, that's something I've never had to do as Tom. But
as Peter, just the entire journey of you playing this character, is there any particular parts of him that you really resonate with, or that has kind of changed you or impacted you through playing this character?
I think Peter's kind of stoic nature is has been very interesting, and I think I'm a fairly headstrong person, and as is Peter, but he, as the series moves on, remains headstrong even at the detriment of other people. And that impacted me, I guess, to reflect on how it's not just about you. You can't be spotlight. You have to be searchlight. Do you know what I mean? You have to think wider and more horizontally in that way, I would say, is how playing Peter has impacted me. Yeah.
I think John and Kenneth perhaps know my next question for them based on speaking to you the other day. But Kenneth, I was going to ask you, following on from that, with regards to some of those great one-liners, and the other one that I kind of highlighted was they didn't sound like ordinary men. They sounded like him. And I don't know, who do we give credit for those kind of powerful one-liners that we have throughout the script? And I'm sure there's going to be more to come.
All of us. I think it's a team sport. Yeah, give credit to the three writers, but also the people delivering the lines, Gary, Oliver, because that's what makes it stick in your head, the way he delivers it. So, um, yeah, it's three of us is great in terms of the writing, but I would say Gary, if he doesn't make it ping, then you're not receiving it the way you are. So we'll like to donate this award to Gary Oliver.
Well, it sounds like in the writing process you had, yourself, Paul, and Faith, that you really were quite brutal with each other to get
Yeah,
to this quality script that Tom was just talking about.
yeah, I think we have to be when we're dealing with faith, when we're dealing with scripture. I think you can't take that lightly. But yeah, we had to be brutal, but also I think it helps being family because nothing is ever personal. It's all for the betterment of each other. If one is pulled up on, we all elevate. So that was the process. That was the savageness, the brutalness was always out of love. And yeah, there was always a great understanding between the three of us. Yeah, and it was as much as we spoke about the brutalness of some bits and having to cut stuff and whatnot, but man, it was the time of our lives writing that script, that season 1. So can't wait to do it again.
Well, I look forward to seeing more. But John, I don't know if I interrupted you just now. You look like you were going to.
No, no. Do you know what? It was just I really liked the line, not spotlight, but searchlight, and I thought I'm going to take that at some point, and pretend I came up with it myself.
But talking of family, because John and Kenneth, you are brothers,
Yeah,
and related to Faith, obviously as
yeah.
well. And you've kind of perhaps drawn in the rest of the actors and the cast and the crew, so they've kind of really you've gained this extended family by the sounds of it.
100%.
But I do know that family can be messy sometimes, and things don't always go according to plan. We are very human, though God may not be, but we are. But
Yeah.
you were going to tell me about some of those behind the scenes embarrassing moments, those things when things don't go quite. So what can you let me in on?
Do you know what's really funny? Obviously, I think when we're at home and we have because we get together. I'd say about once a week at least. Sometimes it's more. We're really fortunate. We have another brother as well. We're really fortunate with our big family. Paul, my wife as well, Pippa. Um, we get together and do embarrassing things during the week. I think on set we were so we were trying to be at times so professional that it was only about helping each other. If I see Kenneth is stressed out, it's very much, oh bro, go sit over there, go sit over there, go sit over there, and I'll go talk to someone. If Kenneth sees that and if my eyes are going, like Kenneth's like, okay, just John, just chill out. Funny enough, I'd call Tom one of my brothers as well. I think there are more embarrassing moments for me and Tom than for me and Kenneth because we were trying to work so hard.
What was embarrassing was us trying to be professional because we
Yeah,
were
yeah. There we go. That was it. Us pretending to
yeah,
be professional for.
they're very like light-hearted people. I think we wanted to create an environment where you're excited to come to work. So if
Yeah,
they were really serious, it was like weird for people to see us like very serious. So that was quite embarrassing at points to try and tell someone we're about to start and they're looking at us like this ain't you. Do you know what I mean?
Well, I think things don't always go according to plan because we can't help it. Things are
yeah,
outside of our control
yeah.
sometimes, aren't they? But Tom, you look like you had something there.
We're My most embarrassing moment. I mean, embarrassment treads a familiar line with sheer panic. Of on the very last day of filming, the very last shot that we did. It comes about, I want to say like episode 6, and I was just completely exhausted. Like we all were. Everybody had been giddy for about 72 hours, just like here we are again. But like having the best time. And this last shot, Paul wanted a continuous single shot on me moving around, and there wasn't anything particularly challenging about the scene or the dialogue.
You just
But
had to do it 50 times. No, I'm joking. You just had to do it so many times.
I just couldn't do it, and I kept fluffing the lines. And I to date, 4 months into in the build up, I had not dropped my lines like this, and it took the whole room to cheer me on. I don't know, a room of about
Yeah.
40 people going, "Come on, Tom!" I was just like,
Didn't that just put more tension, more pressure on you?
well, that was it. They obviously think they're being supportive and kind, and I was like, "You're making it worse, please."
I was making it harder because it was funnier for me to watch.
I genuinely thought he just didn't want it to end, so he was
Yeah.
just moving along until it got to like the 30th time. I was like, bro, we do need to, we do need to make a move.
So it sounds like you had some great fun together,
Yeah.
and I'm looking forward to seeing how the series progresses. I think everybody's going to be really engaged and feel part of the family. But just as we finish off, has anybody got that last sentence? What would you like to say to the audience?
Come and watch Testament. It's fantastic, and I think it'll change your life.
Yeah, and also spread it as far as possible, like kids, parents, aunties, uncles, dogs, cats. Let's let everyone have a chance, an opportunity to watch the show because it's powerful.
Tune in. There really is. There's so much to be enjoyed on so many different levels. It will, yeah, it's going to be a story for the ages for sure.
This is what happens next.
Fantastic. Thank you so much. It's been a delight to connect with you all, and I look forward to seeing more.
Yeah.
Yeah, thank you, Sarah.
Thanks, Sarah.